Secretary General of the CTO, all ministers from the Commonwealth nations, and especially my ministers, fellow ministers from Africa, a very good morning to you. I am actually standing in shoes that are too big for me to fill. If you know my boss, you know that I actually do not know the rationale behind sending me to represent him, but yes, we will do what we can. First of all, let me sincerely apologize on behalf of my principal. He is not able to be here because there are pressing issues of state. That does not in any way undermine the importance of this gathering. And allow me also to say that, of course, digital transformation has been going on in Nigeria. And I do not need to introduce Nigeria as a country because we are not the tiny speck on the map of the Africa that we saw recently. But we have had our challenges and we are tackling them as we go along. Well, first of all, the challenges to effective regulation and growth, especially of broadband connectivity, are summarized. Let me quickly summarize them because we do not have time and because it's not rocket science to understand what these challenges are. We have in Nigeria the transmission infrastructure challenges where fiber optics infrastructure deployment is hampered by difficulties in obtaining right-of-way permits from state governments, as well as paucity of funds accessible to licensed telcos. Now, in the issue of the challenge of right-of-way, what the Nigerian government has done is to engage with state governors. They have a forum called the Nigeria Governors Forum. The Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, the first ever of digital economy, Professor Ibrahim Pantami, has actually initiated some novel strategies to ensure that these challenges are tackled as they come and some as they exist. So the first thing he did when it comes to the issue of right-of-way is to engage governors and to make sure that they understand the benefits, economic benefits of broadband penetration. And it was successful because the cost of right-of-way in Nigeria has gone from 15,000 naira per linear meter to about 145 naira. And in some cases, there's a total waiver on it. And then the second challenge is also we also have the multiple regulation and taxation, where you have the government is taxing, there are some other MDA, state governments are taxing operators. The issue of multiple taxation and regulation, which also has been addressed under various fora, including the Nigeria Governors Forum. And then we also have the challenge of vandalism of infrastructure. Now, in the issue of vandalism, the government has taken a very decisive step by classifying this infrastructure as critical national infrastructure. And this behoves on all security agencies in Nigeria to give protection to digital infrastructure as they are now classified critical national infrastructure. We also have the challenge of import obligations and long authorization processes, because most of this equipment that we use are actually imported from other countries. And you know the process of importation, this and that hampers the smooth flow of business has also been looked at, and certain strategies have also been deployed to ensure that there is ease of doing business. That reduces the time constraints, that reduces a lot of the challenges that importers face. And most importantly, Nigeria is trying to drive innovation. We have the population, and there is no dearth of potential and intelligence in Nigeria. So we are trying to drive innovation. Under the current administration of Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, under the current leadership in that sector, we have established the first of its kind in Africa, I think, a National Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics, where we drive innovation and imagination is fired. Our startups are challenged and they are doing well. I think basically, and then we also have certain challenges that are peculiar to our society, not global. Like we have the poor road infrastructure, which also is a major challenge for deployment of equipment. That is also being addressed by the government. And then we also have the problem of power, which means that MNOs have to improvise. Of course, when we are improvising, we're talking about generators, and that means we have to fund them by fueling them, and that also affects the cost of connecting the unconnected in our country. But by and large, within my 2 minutes, I think I have been able to touch on the major challenges that we are facing in Nigeria. Thank you very much.